Hey, it's Dave, and tonight is going to be a quick, easy dinner that hopefully everyone will be able to enjoy. I've never made it before, so hopefully it'll come out really well. A while back, I bought a whole bunch of chicken and I froze it. This was back in October. I froze these two chicken breasts. So I thawed them out, and I'm going to cut them into nuggets. And tonight I am going to make chicken nuggets with sweet potato French fries. And I am going to cheat with the sweet potato French fries because I have bagged frozen sweet potato French fries. But like I said, it's going to be quick and easy. I'm also going to do a reverse of the dipping sauce. I like Chick-fil-A dipping sauce. I've tasted it. And when it's in my mouth, it tastes a little bit like it's a combination of different mustards and a little bit of barbecue sauce and mayonnaise. So I'm going to make that. Instead of using it as a dipping sauce, I'm going to use that to baste. I'm going to make the dipping sauce and use that to dredge the chicken in before we coat it in breadcrumbs and throw it in the air fryer. So let's try it out. Hey, it's an experiment. So let's give it a shot. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open this chicken up and then I'm going to give it a rinse. Let me rinse it out. I'll be right back. Okay, now that I have them washed and dried, I don't know how I'm really going to approach this yet, but I'm just going to start cutting it into chunks. Maybe bite-sized tenders. And I'm going to put them right in a bowl here that I got off to the side. So let me finish chunking these up and we'll be back. Well, I've washed the cutting board, and in a separate bowl I have put a half a cup of Sir Kensington mayonnaise. I have done a tablespoon of spicy brown mustard, a tablespoon of yellow mustard, and 2 tablespoons of Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. To this I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of water. Grab a whisk, and I'm just going to put this all together. So this almost mimics the Chick-fil-A sauce. Got a little bit of smoke. Got that mustard. Now, the dilemma that I have now is, do I want to dump this in here and toss it around with my hands and make a mess? Or do I want to put this in a baggie and put this in a baggie, a Ziploc bag, and toss it so it's lightly coated, which is also a mess? Or do I dip each individual piece and then put it in the ground pork rinds that I have? Decisions. You know what? I think I'm going to put this in a Ziploc bag. I just happen to have a gallon Ziploc bag here. And I am going to pour that good sauce right in there. Oop. Making sure I get it all in there. So I guess, seeing I'm doing it this way, you could have actually put the tablespoons of ingredients in the Ziploc bag and just mashed it up, but that's all in hindsight. So now I'm going to take this bowl of chicken and I'm going to try to drop that in there. Make a little bit of an air pocket. Back the camera up a little bit. I'm going to make a little bit of an air pocket in there. And I'm just going to toss the chicken in. So I ended up putting it back in the bowl anyway, so one half dozen the other. To the panko, what I've got is, not panko, but the pork rinds. I had ground them up. I'm going to add a little bit of that Cajun Creole just for a little bit more heat. I mean, this stuff is just so flavorful. It smells wonderful. It's got like ground clove in it, I think, and some nutmeg. So what I'm hoping to do at this point is I've got my paper towel down here. I'm hoping to take a piece of chicken, kind of coat it in the panko, and then whoop, put it aside. And I'm going to do this with each and every one of these chicken pieces. I have got them all coated up, and finally, and they are looking absolutely wonderful. And now I'm going to put these in the air fryer. I'm not going to use the basket. I'm going to use the griddle attachment, at least mine has one. And I'm going to line a little bit of parchment paper on the bottom. Okay everyone, I'm going to put some parchment down in there. And then I'm going to single layer these nuggets. And let's see how many I can get in here without crowding them too much. So it looks like I can get about 8 in there. I'm just going to put my basket down a little bit. I'm going to put a couple more right on top. This is going to hinder me flipping them. It's going to make it more difficult, but I just want to save some time, because next time I'll be able to do them all in a second batch. So I've got these set right now. I've got them layered up. I don't know how long they're going to take, but I'm looking at the thickest, fattest nugget that I have up top here. And I'm going to put the thermometer right in the middle of that one. Now I don't know how long these are going to take in the air fryer. I am going to set it at 375. And I got the internal, I've got the probe in. So I'm just going to wait and see when it starts getting close. When it gets about halfway, I'll check them, and if they need to be flipped, I'll flip them. But these are going in the air fryer right now. Hey, it only took 7 minutes at 375 for the top ones to get to an internal temp of 165. But I just want to check the bottom ones. Okay, the bottom ones are only at around 130. So what I'm going to do is they're going to go in the oven again anyway, but I want to just get the probe in there. I'm going to throw them in until this one down here gets up to temp. Okay, while those are in the air fryer for about 3 or 4 more minutes, I'm just going to take these right here. They're not really crispy yet, but I'm going to put them right on some parchment paper. And the oven is set at 170, so it's not really going to bake them, but it'll keep them warm and dry them out just a little bit on the top. So once the other ones come out of the air fryer, we'll finish laying these up and we'll get them in the oven to keep them warm. So it took about 3 or 4 more minutes, but we're back up to 165 with these. And I'm just going to maybe flip them a little bit as I put them down on the parchment paper. Now the parchment is easy cleanup, but it does leave a film at the bottom, so I'm wondering if I put them right on the grate, the film would drip through and maybe more air would circulate. They might get a little bit crispier. So we'll try that with the next batch. And well, if I got to clean, I got to clean. So let me fill up this basket. Perfect. Last one. Now looking at the biggest one here. I'll say it's this one right here is the thickest. And that's the one I'm going to drop the probe in. Okay, let's get these in. So while we're waiting for the second batch, it's a good time to sanitize. Whenever you're using chicken or pork or any of the raw meats. Not that I got any anywhere, but you never know. Juices spray. It was a total of 7 minutes and looking pretty good. I'm thinking with the pork rinds, it becomes a little too oily. The fat content in it is makes it a little bit slimy. Not slimy, but wet. For instance, these here were made with panko breadcrumbs because I ran out of the pork rinds, and you can see how wet these look compared to these, which are very dry and very crispy. So even though they're added carbs, I would probably go next time with just the panko breadcrumbs. Okay, I've kind of wiped out the inside of this, and I've removed the griddle basket, and I've put in the regular basket. So I've added some sweet potato fries, about a handful. I like the Alexa sweet potato fries. I also like the onion rings. It's just, they taste good. So anyway, I've got them in here. I am going to set these. They're frozen. I'm going to set them at 10 minutes, but after 5 I'm going to flip them, and then I'll check them again at the 10-minute mark. So 400 degrees. Let's give it a shot. Okay, 12 minutes later, and we have got crispy fries. I can tell that they're going to be nice and soft in the middle, and they're going to be crispy on the outside. So let's start plating up. Well, I have the chicken nuggets out, and I've got it on the scale. So I'm just going to start plating here. So that is 5 ounces right there. And I've also got the ketchup, spicy mustard, and I've got ranch to dress it in. And the ketchup, I'm just going to throw some of those crispy fries right down there. And I'm right there at 7 ounces. So let's try this out. So I'm going to take this nugget here. I'm just going to cut into it a little bit. And I'm going to use a fancy little hors d'oeuvre fork. And that is cooked perfect. It's nice and tender. I'm going to put that in a little bit of ranch here. Let's give it a try. It's awesome. It's lean, low carb, tasty. Now for the French fries. Got the fry, a little bit of ketchup. Crunchy. Nicely done in the air fryer. For that fistful, it took about, frozen, it took about 12 minutes or so. So, quick, easy meal. So, give it a shot. And I get to eat the whole thing. Yay!